Alrighty, well, finally came back out here to work on HazMit, and my plan today is I want to take this bumper off and I'm going to fix some of this wiring that's hanging down here and try to get that tucked up. My plan is to take this bumper off and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to drill some holes along there so that way I can put in some zip ties and hopefully keep it not only up off the ground, but I'm going to try to tuck it on the inside lip here so that way it avoids getting any moisture or dirt or anything on it. And then that'll probably be the main thing tonight. And then I'm going to work on getting the timing belt replaced. After I'm back, I'm going to go see some family down in Arizona. And I'll be gone for a while. I'm gonna try to edit this video while I'm gone down there. But yeah, so now that I got it up, I can then drain the coolant, which you gotta do in order to replace the timing belt on this car, because you gotta pull the water pump off. So you don't have to end up pulling or draining all the coolant, but you're gonna have to get majority of it out, at least below the water pump level. So my plan is I'll just go in and replace it with new coolant anyway. I'll put a new thermostat, new coolant, new water pump, and obviously new timing belt and stuff. So, and in that video, I'll kind of go through some of the key things to look for if you're thinking about checking your own timing belt. The old adage of cracks in belts isn't necessarily true anymore, and that goes for most belts, serpentine belts, timing belts, V belts. There's all kinds of, basically any belt now, if it's using the new rubber technology, then it won't crack, they'll just wear away. So it's important to actually check them with dedicated tools. You can't just look at them and then bend them and see if they're cracked or not. But that'll all be in the timing belt video. And yeah, so for right now, I'm just gonna work on getting this bumper off. All I did so far is just pulled off the turn signals, which are just held on with a single bolt or a single screw right here, and then one single connector. Just reached in there, popped off the connector. Well, pulled out the screw first, then reached in, popped out the connector, light came right out. So nothing really too extravagant there, just a Phillips head screw. So next things I gotta do is I gotta disconnect the fog lamps, I believe, and then I'm also gonna have to look a little bit closer on these lights that Chris added. I'm gonna have to see how they're mounted, see if I can reach the wiring. And then there's an underplate, an air duct under here on both sides. Those have got to come off, and then there's a couple plastic screws on the inside of the wheel well, so I'll get those off. But right now I'm just gonna pop these bolts right here that I can see, which looks like a couple of them rusted off, so let's hope these ones aren't rusty. But yeah, I know that you guys have been patiently waiting for a HazMit video, and I do apologize. I just caught up with a lot of stuff, so I wasn't able to come out here as routinely as I wanted. But I got a little bit of time. It's also Christmas, by the way, the day I'm recording this. So if you're watching this on Christmas, which won't be Christmas this year, then Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But yeah. whole thing's just solid rust. So, it's still good, just a tad bit rusty. Alright, same principle here. Gonna try to just move it in tiny increments. Ooh, this one's actually fairly loose already. Well, I shouldn't say loose, but it's just not all corroded. I doubt that WD-40 got in there that fast, but actually, no, that one was just a lot better. Again, I don't know how well that's going to come across, but that bolt was a lot better than this bolt. So anywho, I'm gonna grab my little bolt pin. Also, I apologize for the noise. That would be my heater, and yeah, I kind of need that. So well, that definitely loosened it up. All right, I'm gonna move to the side here and see about getting these out. I don't really like these style because they're a plastic Phillips, and like most plastics, they degrade over time to the point where they're literally so weak that they just crack out. So that's also assuming, again, because they're plastic, if they're not stripped out, which it looks like these are. But I'll still try to get those out as best as I can. This will have to do, but I think this top one's just shot. See about this one. Yeah, they're just spinning in there. And this one so close to the tire, I don't think that one's coming off unless I take the tire off. But even then, based on these two, something tells me it's gonna be stripped out as well. Your own tool, just a really long spine. Now that that little adventure is over, let us get back to seeing if we can get those clips out. Again, I very much doubt it. Holy Jesus. That bottom one actually unscrewed. Ooh, look at that. needed to use the lightest of touches. Fortune smiles upon us. I still absolutely hate these. I'd rather just have Christmas trees. Okay, well, if I'm being honest, I'd rather just have like screws into steel. See, these things have a Phillips right there, and then they're threaded, and they go in there basically like a screw-in drywall anchor essentially, and they flare this bottom part out, and that's what holds it in. Great on paper, terrible in practice. I'm sure that doesn't remind anyone of anything. All right. Cool. It's like those three are taken care of. Now, there's not a lot of room on this side. In fact, I don't even have room for that stool. So, I'm gonna have to repeat the same thing on that side, but I will just skip ahead till when I have that side off, because like I said, I barely have any room in there. There's no room for you guys to see. All right, I'm gonna grab my trim tools, and I'm gonna pop these clips off under here. Oh, they are screw outs. That one's just completely gone. All my instructions are on my phone. So, for right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the recording real quick, and then I'll go through and look at the diagram one more time, and I'll see if I can tell if I need to maybe pop the light out, or how I'm gonna get those bolts underneath. And then by the looks of it, I'm gonna have to cut the wiring, go into the amber strobes that Chris did. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, so I'll cut it and be right back. I did some digging, and it looks like the last few things I have are some bolts that are underneath these headlights, but I can actually get to them from down below. I'm gonna go under there right now with some penetrant, and I'm gonna shoot them. I'll give them 5-10 minutes. They're pretty rusty. I don't have very high hopes that they're gonna come off very well, but that's gonna be the plan for right now. And then when I also have this thing off, I'm gonna go through and drill out these ones that look like they broke off here, so I can put new ones in there. And I got the fog lights disconnected, and I just went around and snipped the zip ties that were holding up a lot of the wiring. So for right now, like I said, all I can see is those bolts that are facing up. So I'm gonna crawl under there and get to it. All right, I got those lubed up. There's these two here for the horns, but they don't say that they're actually attached in the description. So I got all those under there lubricated. I'm gonna let them sit. I also hit the two that are holding on the horns up front. The horns, at least what the horns are mounted to, it doesn't necessarily say that it's a part of the bumper structure, but it also says that those bolts need to be removed, so it's not like physically attached to this part that's moving. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get them all. I just went ahead and shot them with the lube. In the meantime though, I think to get a better view, I'm gonna hit these lights. I'm gonna take these lights off just to get a better view underneath. And kind of see what we're working with. So this side looked better underneath, so I'm gonna start with this one. You probably haven't seen me use them too much in any of the videos, but I do have electric impacts. It's just I'm not on the clock, right? Like all these are my personal projects, so you know, I'm not really too stressed out about getting them done as fast as possible. That is very easy to take off. I like things that are very easy to take off. Get to it from underneath, but I'm definitely gonna come at it from this side. This is just way easier to do. Especially because it's literally 3 bolts that hold this headlight in, and then a small tab underneath. Might be time for some new headlights. Not that there's anything explicitly wrong with those ones, but why not, you know? Now, the strobes are going to be a problem because unfortunately it looks like Chris wired them in hard, so there is not an easy way to disconnect those. Like they don't have a connector like this headlight here or the fog lamps. They got a quick weather pack connector on them. Unfortunately, it would seem that these are going to be a little bit more painful to get out, which is fine. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if that's, nope. Right as I was just about to say it. I was gonna say, let's see if that soaking of Croil helped, but it did not. Oh well. I was expecting that to happen. Honestly, I'm actually surprised I made it as far as I did. But now I gotta figure out what to do to get those threads out of there. Sheared right off. I think we're in business with this one. My socket wasn't on the head of that very well, but yeah, you can really see all of the rusting corrosion that had been building up on this. Yeah. So again, unfortunately, this one back here, I don't even know if there's a way. See that back there? Like literally right there. That one is snapped off flush. There's not a lot of room to get to it. My extension's a wobble, which means I can, it'll move like that. So my goal is I get that secured on that nut. Well, I might not have to. I really don't want this to break because I don't have any way of getting access to it. Oh, fuck. And it just broke. I don't think there's a lot I can do with that one, but I don't know. Maybe if I let it sit longer, maybe it would have popped off. I mean, the head's gone, so really there's nothing holding it on the back. I think I'll call that for now. I'll just let these soak for a while. And by a while, I mean probably a couple weeks. And see if maybe they'll get freed up enough that I can kind of just pry them off, and then after that, should be able to just pull this piece right off. Well, we had the goal of getting the bumper off, but it looks like I'm just gonna let those rusted bolts there on the sides. I'm just gonna let them sit for a while. I got lubricant on them. I got lubricant on both sides of them. I'm just gonna give that lubricant time to work itself in. Unfortunately, I don't have time tomorrow to come out here and continue working on this, because I actually got to get ready to head out on the 27th to head down to Arizona, and I'll be there till the 3rd, so I won't get back here until after the new year. But definitely got a decent amount of progress done, and a little bit of HazMit for everyone who's been waiting and waiting and waiting. I know the Honda kind of took up a lot of my time waiting on getting the fender back from the collision shop for that, and then I got to do a little bit more tweaking with the carburetor, but then I'm going to take it and I'm going to get the fluids flushed, because I just don't have the flush machines here to be able to do that. At least I could drain and refill, but that's a lot of waste, and I would much rather just help out some of my friends and my previous professor at the college who just recently started his own business. You know, if anyone's looking for some automotive work in the Highline and Havre area, check out Badland Motors. The owner is Kevin Holsworth. He was my professor at Northern. Super good dude, and the two guys that work with him, I also went to school with them. They're super great guys, great mechanics. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Honda to them. I'm gonna have them flush the transmission, flush the coolant, flush the power steering, flush brakes. I gotta get a master cylinder on it, and then I think that should be all that it needs right now, because it's got new brakes on it. Oh, it needs new tires, but I'll get the tires on when everything else is all hunky-dory. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. So for right now, like I said, just gonna leave this here overnight, gonna let those penetrants soak in and just kind of help lubricate those rusted threads. And when I get back, I will try to get it off. So that's been HazMit for right now. See you guys later.